Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome to the 12th practice in the Listen series. Today we listen to how we feel. This is a Hatha practice focused on stimulating the sacral chakra, which will allow us to practice our awareness of how we feel and to finish the sentence, I feel. To support your practice today, you can grab a block or a cushion, something to lift the hips in seated postures. And we will begin reclined on our back with our knees up. Center yourself on your space, taking the feet a little wider than the hips, perhaps mat width if you are on a yoga mat, and allowing the knees to fall against each other so you feel supported. Tucking your shoulder blades underneath your body, gently tucking your chin. Perhaps you would like to rest your palms on your belly or your low ribs, or beside you on the earth. You can choose to soften your gaze or close your eyes for this first beat of the practice. Allow yourself a moment to arrive. Let's gently begin to scan the body, checking in with how we feel, just noticing without judgment, without trying to change anything, just collecting data, starting with your head. Notice any tension, tightness, sensations of relaxation. Just observing how you feel, checking in with your face and jaw, your throat and neck. Is there any clenching or are the muscles slack? Checking in with your shoulders, biceps, triceps, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, hands. Just scanning, observing how you feel. Checking in with your collarbone, the upper chest, sides of your ribs, the upper back body, the mid back, the low back. Noticing any sensations in the belly, the bowl of the pelvis. Just observing, checking with the hips, the thighs, quads and hamstrings. your knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, soles of your feet. Just taking stock. How do you feel today? What are you experiencing today? Sort of a baseline assessment. Practicing, asking how we feel, so we can take that practice off the mat as well. When you've completed your physical scan, take a moment to check in with your emotional and energetic body. How are you feeling today? Releasing the role of the observer. Let's walk our feet underneath our hips and bring our knees in line with our hip points, so both legs are parallel. Taking our palms to the earth if they are not there already. Centering our gaze directly above us. Setting up for bridge posture. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Inhaling and feeling the belly expand. Exhaling. Feeling the belly contract, navel to spine. Peel the tailbone up off the earth. Coming in to bridge pose. Sits bones are shining towards the backs of our calves. Hips are lifted towards the sky. Chest is lifting towards our chin. Chin is lifting towards the sky. And then slowly, as if you are massaging the muscles on either side of your spine, lower back down to the earth, one vertebra at a time. Inhale deeply, filling the belly with air. Exhale completely. Peel the tailbone up again, one vertebra at a time. Keeping the knees and the thighs parallel, not allowing them to splay in or out. And slowly lower to the earth. Releasing the tailbone. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Peeling the tailbone up again. Slowly lower back down to the earth. Taking the feet a little bit wider than the hips. Inhale deeply. Exhale, allow the knees to fall to the left. Perhaps you rest your palms on your ribs or your low belly. On an exhale, draw navel to spine. Bring your knees back to center. Inhale deeply. Exhale and allow your knees to drop to the right. Then an exhale, engage your core, draw your knees back to center. Inhale, exhale over to the left. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale. Exhale, over to the right. Exhale. Draw your knees back to center. Extend your tailbone towards the bottom of your space. Draw your feet together, drawing the soles of your feet together, allowing your knees to open, coming into reclined cobbler's pose. Breathing deeply into the low belly. Allowing gravity to open up your inner thighs and your groin. Taking the palms to the outsides of your thighs, gently closing your thighs like a book. Inhale deeply. Exhale, a little engagement through the core, floating your feet up and extending them towards the sky. Flex and point your feet. Gentle bend through the knees. Circle your ankles one way and then the other. Reversing your circles and then reversing them again. Crossing your right knee over your left. So your left knee is in the armpit or the back of your right knee. Bend through the knees, Coming into a reclined cow-faced legs, you can clasp your lower legs or your ankles, the outsides of your feet, perhaps your pant leg. Find the location that works with your body. Take a moment to adjust and play with how much you bend your knees. Maybe rock a little side to side, looking for that sweet spot, a little opening through the hips. When you've found your reclined cow-faced legs, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Take 3 deep breaths here. Releasing your feet to the sky. Circle your ankles one way and then the other. Reversing the circle, and then flex and point your feet. Taking the left knee now on top, right knee behind. Bending through the knees and finding the bind that works for you. Perhaps you prefer a slightly different bind on this side. Clasping for lower legs. You can clasp onto your pant leg, ankles, or the outsides of your feet. Play around with the bend of your knees, wiggle a little side to side. Find that sweet spot where you feel an opening through the hips. Relax your shoulders and breathe deeply into the low belly. Release your legs to the sky, circling your ankles one way and then the other. Point and flex your feet. And then drawing your knees towards your armpits, reach between your legs to clasp ankles, the soles of your feet, or perhaps your pant leg. Coming into a little exploration of happy baby. Extending your tail towards the bottom of your mat. Just take a moment to check in with how it feels with your feet in relatively close proximity to each other, and your legs, your knees on the outsides of your arms. You can also clasp your shins here or your pant leg. Play around with it. Everybody's geometry is going to be a little bit different. And then with an attentiveness to how you feel and the sensations you are experiencing, perhaps rocking a little side to side, seeing how that feels. Perhaps extending your right foot towards the sky, drawing your right knee towards your right armpit. Exploring A little hamstring stretch on this side. Perhaps you take your left foot towards the sky. Draw your left knee towards your left armpit. Playing with the depth of bend in your knee. Perhaps extending your leg a little. Bending it a little deeper and drawing it towards your armpit. Just explore. You might choose to take both feet towards the sky. Drawing your knees towards your armpits. Extending your tailbone towards the bottom of your space. You can rock a little side to side here. Extending your legs and drawing them back down. You can also choose to find stillness for a few moments here. When you feel satisfied, draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock a little side to side. Giving yourself a little sacral massage, placing your palms on your knees and circling to the left, extending your arms out and then over to the right before you draw them back to your chest. And then reversing your circle. Giving yourself a big hug. When you're ready, gently rolling to one side. And slowly pressing up to a seat, recruiting your prop if you like. Coming to sit in cobbler's pose with the soles of our feet together. You can give yourself some space here. Your feet don't need to be very close to your body. Palms can rest on your shins or your ankles or your thighs, depending on your body's geometry. Extend through the crown. Find a tall spine and gently begin to flutter your knees, bringing a little mobility through the hips and the groin. It's a slow, delicate, subtle movement. Staying in touch with the sensation. And then taking the palms to the outsides of our thighs, closing them, breathing deeply. Coming to face the long side of your space. You can choose to sit up on your block or cushion here as we come into a wide-legged forward fold. If you find you are particularly tight in your hamstrings, you might find having a little lift underneath your hips allows you to hinge forward with ease, so your sits bones are sort of resting on the edge of your prop. Or you can choose to have your prop in front of you for an elbow rest, with knees and toes facing up, toes flexed towards your face, finding tall spine. Walk your palms forward on the earth, looking for sensations of stretch and opening. Perhaps having your palms in front of you on the earth is enough to experience that. You can walk your palms forward, perhaps extending them out in front, or perhaps coming to rest on your elbows. Exploring with attentiveness to how you feel. Finding extension through the crown. And then slowly walking back up to a tall spine. And drawing the feet together, legs extended in front of you. Gentle bend in the knees, toes flexed towards your face, palms, knuckles, or fingers connecting with the earth by your sides as we come into Dandasana. Extension through the crown, head over heart, heart over hips, gentle lift in the pelvic floor and drawing navel to spine, elongating through the back of the neck by tucking the chin. Inhaling, reaching skyward, exhaling to hinge at the hips, allowing the palms to land wherever feels comfortable in your body. Maintaining a long spine. And slowly walking the palms back, returning to Dandasana, stacking head over heart over hips. Releasing the posture, centering yourself on the earth, slowly lower down. Taking the feet wide, allowing the knees to lean against each other. Returning to that constructive rest posture. Palms can rest by your side or on your belly, gently tucking your chin and your shoulder blades underneath your body. Returning to that gentle scan. How do you feel? It takes practice in the sense of gaining skills through repetition to be able to be aware of how we feel and to check in with ourselves, to maintain a sense of curiousness and that role of the observer. Take a moment to notice any changes. Notice what's the same. Notice what feels relaxed and what feels tense. Without judgment, just observation. When you've satisfied your thirst for knowledge, allow your legs to extend towards the bottom of your space, perhaps taking them a little wider than your hips. Coming into Shavasana. Palms can continue to rest on the low belly or ribs, or perhaps resting the backs of your hands on the earth by your sides. Swallow. Lick your lips and releasing the observation and the doing. Allow yourself a few moments of constructive rest and silence. I will guide you out when it's time to move on. Allow yourself to just be. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring movement back to the body by wiggling fingers and toes, circling the wrists and the ankles. Draw your knees up, place your feet on the earth, and float your feet off the ground, drawing your knees to your chest, giving yourself a big hug, rocking gently from side to side, breathing deeply into the low belly. Gently rolling to one side, using your arm as a headrest. Slowly press up to a comfortable seat of your choosing. Stacking head over heart and heart over hips. Flutter your eyes open, allowing the light back in. Thank you for taking the time to practice listening to how you feel. This is an ongoing learning that we all benefit from taking the time to explore. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.